not going to overdo the bronzer. I'm not going to overdo the bronzer. As promised, we're going to do a little eyeshadow today. But since Valentine's Day is coming up, I think I'm going to do something Valentine's inspired, at least with like pinks and browns. That's the vibe I'm kind of going for. So of course I'm going to start by spraying my face down with this Caudalie, I believe that's how you say the name, but it's basically the beauty elixir. I believe this is the only spray that they have, but just going to refresh my face since it's been a little while since I've done my actual skincare. And then I'm going to do my brows really quickly because it's boring and repetitive to me. So I'm just going to get that out the way. I'll speed that part up and then we can get into the eyeshadow look. But just so you're aware, especially if you're watching my video for the first time, for my brows, I like to use the Kosas Brow Nano. This is just what I'm currently using. I don't absolutely love it or anything, but it's all I have. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to conceal with the Nars Soft Matte. This is in Sucre de Orge. And I'm going to use brow gel, which is the Rare Beauty. I did use the concealer to conceal the little spot between my eyes. I also used it to prime my lids. And now I'm just going to take some of my Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder. And this is just going to set the lids so that way it's nice and prepped and ready to go for the shadow. You don't want a tacky base because you don't want your shadow to be patchy. And I'm just using this powder because not only is it going to set it, but it also makes it nice and smooth. So now that we have our base set, we can jump into our shadow. I pulled out 3 palettes for this because I wasn't sure the browns, but I want to kind of center everything around this palette. This is the Fenty Snap Shadow Mix and Match Eyeshadow Palette. This one is in number 4. So that's what I want to kind of center everything around. And then I did pull out her first palette. I believe she came out with this palette right here. I have not used this, I don't think ever, honestly. Maybe once, and maybe not even that. But this is the Moroccan Spice palette. And I pulled this one just because of the brown shades in here. I might dip into those. But I also pulled out the Dose of Colors palette because this is my tried and true when it comes to these brown shades, which I'm going to start with this one right here. And I'm going to just take a fluffy brush. This is actually the M573. And I'm just going to work that on the outer corner and into the crease. I'm going to take the light pink, the extremely light pink. And I'm just using that same brush. And I'm going to mix that with the brown just to see what that does. It's obviously not doing anything like major to the eye, but in person, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but in person it's definitely making it a lot more pink, which is essentially what I'm going for. You know, I want like a nice soft pink look. I'm going to take this shade right here because this one over there is a little too much of like a Barbie pink. I'm not going for that. I'm not going to carve my lid out per se. I mean, I will kind of, but not really. Like, I'm not using concealer as a guide. And I'm just going to just press this onto the lid. Oh, this is very sparkly. I'm going to take the deeper color in the palette right here. And I'm going to tap that on the outer part of the eye. I'm just tapping. I'm not necessarily blending it. I'm just placing it. Because I want to take a different brush, a clean brush, to just like blend that out. One thing about that shimmer shadow, it is very glittery. A lot more than I thought it would be. So I do have like glitter flakes on the face and stuff, and that's pretty hard to like get up. So I don't really love that, but I'm going to jump into doing my base. I'm going to stop with the eyeshadow for now. If I feel like I need to like add maybe like a deeper brown on the outer corner, I'll do that a little bit more into the makeup. I'm just going to start with my concealer. I'm going to use this one. This is the Makeup by Mario concealer. I want to use more concealer than foundation. I feel like I only have one foundation that really matches me. So let's just try and make this more of a concealer kind of makeup. And so I'm going to put quite a bit. And this concealer is closer to my skin tone. It's not a brightening concealer, which is why I feel comfortable using it, you know, pretty much all over my face instead of just in my T-zone. So I'm going to let the concealer sit a little bit, and while I do that, I'm going to jump into cream. So this is the cream Soft Sculpt Bronzing and Shaping Serum. So it's more of a serum, but I'm going to use the doe foot applicator because it has both pump and doe foot. And I'm going to apply this to my cheeks and everything, just the perimeter of my face for some bronze on the skin before I blend it out. I'm going to blend out this first before I blend out my concealer. I'm going to use this brush just to start tapping this into the skin. This is more of like a natural cream bronzer, so it's not like super pigmented. Now to blend out the nose, I'm going to use this brush just so I can be a little bit more precise and so I don't disturb the concealer because I'm not ready to blend that in at the moment. And I'm just going to blend in around it. Now to blend out the concealer, I'm going to use this brush from Makeup by Mario, and I'm just going to start tapping this into the skin. The concealer did a really nice job. We don't even need any foundation. And I'm not going to apply foundation because that would just be a waste of product and just kicking things up on my skin that I don't necessarily need. But it did a really nice job of just like covering everything up. I'm going to set, I'm going to use Charlotte Tilbury just to set the T-zone. I'm going to also use a sponge or a makeup puff to do that. And then I'll go in with my loose powder. But just to initially set, I'm going to use this. I feel like this concealer is one that like kind of like self-sets, but we're still setting anyway. I may not even need that loose powder, to be honest. But I am putting this basically everywhere. Let's just jump into that. I'm going to use my Haus Labs bronzer. It's a little deeper, but I really like this one. And I'm going to use this brush to apply. Hopefully without doing too much. I'm not going to overdo the bronzer. I have to tell myself that because y'all know I can get crazy with bronzer. This bronzer is actually really nice. Here I go, adding more bronzer. After I said we're not going to do a lot. But I really feel like the bronzer is like really meshing with the eyeshadow in a way that it matches almost. It's almost as if I used the bronzer on the lids, but I didn't. And I didn't expect for it to match so well. I'm going to take a smaller brush. Oh, I closed it. It'll help if it's open. Just to lightly dust and contour the nose. We're going to jump back into eyeshadow. I don't think I used anything from this palette. So I'm going to take the brown in here, which is this color right here. And I'm going to apply this on the outer corner just to deepen it a little. Let's see if we can find like a really small, like this, brush. This is just a really small fluffy brush. I don't want to add too much, but I do want to add just a little more. And I'm also going to take this color on the lower lash line as well, just to kind of darken that up and of course apply eyeshadow at the bottom. I can't have eyeshadow at the top and not the bottom. I am going to use my favorite pencil. If you don't know, this is technically a lip pencil, but I've always used it for my waterline. This is from LA Girl, and this is in Nude. Well, I dropped it. Whew. It helps just open the eyes, but my eyes are watery now. Now I'm just going to quickly apply some mascara. I don't think we have much else to do other than our highlight, some setting spray, and obviously a clear gloss because you know that's the type of girl that I am. I am going to apply my mascara first. I'm just going to use my YSL mascara. This is the Lash Clash, and I'm just going to coat my lashes with this. I do need a closer mirror. So For the bottom lashes, I like to use my L'Oreal Telescopic because it's super thin and I'm less likely to like make a mess of it if I use something thin like this. Alright, so I have to let the mascara dry just a little. I'm going to use my fan. I love this thing. It comes in handy in so many different ways just to like speed up the drying process of so many different products. Highlighter is going to be a little different today, but before we get to highlighter, let's go ahead and set our face down. I'm just going to use my L'Oreal 3-second setting mist. Since Fenty has been the inspiration for pretty much everything we've done today, I'm going to use this highlighter in Afternoon Snack in Mo Honey, just to kind of step away from the other highlighter that I was using in the Sephora palette that you guys cannot get your hands on. I'm pretty sure you can get your hands on this one. So I'm just going to add this because this is really pretty as well. Last but not least, our clear gloss, which I'm just going to use the Lawless. What's new? Whoa. Alright, you guys are going to have to let me know what you think of the eyeshadow look down in the comments down below. But I do want to say that I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. This is the look finished and complete. So whether you want to use this video as inspiration for your Valentine's Day look or just for the base of the makeup, whatever it is, I hope you took one thing from today's video. I know I wasn't really chatty today, but you know, sometimes that's good. We don't always have to like talk so much. Nonetheless, I really enjoyed doing my makeup today and just being able to tap into eyeshadow yet again. I definitely look forward to doing more of these. But of course, if you liked the video, make sure you go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And as always, I hope to see each and every one of you right back here in the next one, whether that is a video or a vlog, whichever one comes first, girl.